So it's Black Friday tomorrow, so that means there's going to be some offers out for cameras and lenses and all different accessories. So I'm going to go through some of the finds that I found today. So first things first, we've got the GoPro Hero 12. Now, the GoPro Hero 12 is a camera that I pre-ordered back in September for a job. It's got vertical shooting, you know, reels, TikToks, all of that. It's perfect for that. It's got 2 times the battery life that the Hero 11 had. Can't lie, this thing does shoot for quite a long time without needing to change the batteries. Obviously, you've got to turn your front and back screens off for that to work and have the fast shooting mode on. And yeah, it shoots in log as well. So it's making things for you even easier for you to now match it up with your camera. So say that you're using a mirrorless camera like me, you can match your footage up a lot nicer, you can match it up with a drone a lot nicer, etc. So the retail price was £400 when it released. It's now going for $339. And this is through Amazon. So yeah, great discount there. The thing's only been out for a couple of months. So yeah, you're grabbing a steal. Next up, sticking with action cams, we've got the DJI Osmo Action 3 and the DJI Osmo Action 2. I haven't used these too much myself. I haven't used the Action 2. I know one person that owned the Action 2. Unfortunately, they didn't get on with it too well. I'd recommend the Action 3. People rave about it so much. My mate's got one, he raves about it. I've used it a couple of times. The footage on there is great. You know, you've got 10-bit video on it now, it's been updated. You can also shoot the DJI log profile that they've got. It's a bit of a shame that they didn't do a discount on the Action 4, because I have used the Action 4. Again, another friend's got one of them. In low light, it's probably the best action camera that you can get at the moment. Yeah, so this one's going for about £50 under retail price now. It's going for $259. Was going for about £310. Next up, we've got the Sony A7C. Now, I've got the A7 III. I use it for the majority of my professional shoots. So whether that be photography or videos. I know it's 8-bit, but certain things you don't need to be shooting in 10-bit, to be honest with you. You know, if you're not going to be mucking around with the colors too much, you just want a natural look, it's more than good enough. Now, the A7C has the same sensor as the A7 III, but it has an updated autofocus now. I think it's AI. So yeah, the autofocus is better. It has lacked a bit on my A7 III for the video side of things. I have noticed a few hiccups here and there. It's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but the A7C has taken that and it's built upon it now and it's rectified those issues, I guess. And it comes in a smaller body as well. Still full frame. You'd have the same lens selection that you do on any of the other A7 line cameras. Only downside is it only has one SD card slot. If that doesn't bother you, then, you know, go ahead for it. I'd potentially actually pick that over the A7 III now. So I can't remember the exact retail price on this right now. I feel like it was around £1,600. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Now, we have a £125 voucher on there. So that would take your total to £1,375. Great value there, great camera. Oh, next up, we've got the A7 IV. Now, this thing is a beast. I can't lie, it is a beast. I want one. Now moving into video though, I'm stuck between that and the A7S III. But yeah, nah, this is a great camera. All round beast. 33 megapixel stills, 4K and 60 frames per second. It does crop in a bit, but you know, who cares? It shoots in 4K, 60 frames per second, and it takes great photos at the same time. It's that great in between photography and videography. Autofocus is great on it. I'm pretty sure it's the same autofocus system that comes on the A7S III. Anyway, from my experience using it, it has been similar in performance. It's got dual native ISO, and it also has 10-bit video. This is where you can step into the territory of really messing around with S-Log footage. So yeah, this one's going for £2,100, but you apply the £188 voucher. That's nearly a £200 saving, just a little bit more than £1,900, which is great, bearing in mind it was about £2,400 a couple of months back. So it's not just Sony cameras that are on offer at the moment. We've got the Panasonic Lumix S5 Mark II. Now, I've only heard good things about this camera. I was mixed between staying with the Sony ecosystem or moving over to the Lumix. And you know what? My mind still changes every day, I'm not gonna lie. Working with a client recently who's owned the A7S III and now moved over to the Lumix ecosystem, he said that the image stabilization is second to none on this camera. You can hang out of car windows shooting cars and it will be smooth as. Another benefit, you've got load on LUTs on there to basically film the LUT on top of your footage already. So when it comes straight out of the camera, it's already color graded for you. How crazy is that? It also shoots 6K video, which is crazy for a camera this cheap. It's a good all-rounder again. It takes great photos, it takes great videos. I say it's more pushing onto the video side of things. So at the moment you can pick this up in a crazy bundle where it comes with the 20-60 kit lens, comes with extra batteries, chargers, camera straps, all of that for £1,600. Imagine you get all of that for £1,600. There is also the S5 Mark II X, which is also on offer, only by a little bit though, for the body only. The biggest saving is on this S5 Mark II bundle here. I can't vouch too much for Canon because I haven't really shot video on their cameras, or I don't know many people that do shoot video on their cameras. However, when I stumbled across this and the specs of it, it's a bit insane. This thing shoots 8K internal raw video. That is just nuts. I thought the Lumix was sick shooting at 6K, but 8K internal raw. This one's underrated, I don't care. I don't hear too many people talking about this camera, but whew, boy. It also shoots 4K and 120 frames per second uncropped. Like, what the hell? You know, we're going back to the Sony a7 IV saying it's shot in 4K 60 cropped. This thing shoots in 120 frames per second without a crop, still in full frame format. And it has Canon's latest image stabilization on it. This gives you 8 stops of image stabilization. Again, with the £500 cashback, you'll be picking up this camera for £3,399. Obviously, this is touching on territory like the Sony a7S III, but the Sony a7S III doesn't even shoot in 6K, yet alone 8K. So there's something to think about there when when you're getting into the filmmaking world, I tell you. So let's move over to lenses now. We've got the nifty 50 Sony f1.8 lens here. The thing's going for £130. Now, I remember at the start of this year, you couldn't even pick one up. They were all out of stock and they were going for £180. Now, this is a super sharp lens. Like, in fact, this is the first lens that I got when I got a Sony camera, and I was blown away by the performance of it. The fact that it's such value for money as well is insane. I'm pretty sure this thing costs less than the kit lens for Sony's. Sony have also got their 85mm f1.8 lens on Black Friday right now for £345. Again, a great lens. And they've also got their 35mm f1.8 lens going for £385 now. Some big savings to be had there. I'm a bit disappointed from the other companies, you know. They weren't really doing discounts on lenses this Black Friday. But I've managed to find a couple of Lumix lenses. They're nifty 50, going for £200. I haven't used this website before, so I can't vouch for it. So if you do plan on buying it, please do your due diligence. And also, if you've used this website and you've had great experience, just let us know in the comments below. Help everyone else out. So moving on to drones now. I'm not going to talk too much about each individual one, but DJI have a massive deal going out on a load of their drones now. Just look at this. Look at some of the deals. You know, Mini 3 Pro, £550. Obviously it doesn't come with the IC remote, but still great value. I've just picked up one of these recently and the quality on it is just absolutely insane. It is bang for buck. And they've also got deals on their FPV drone, as you can see. Yeah, I highly recommend checking out DJI and all the offers they're going on. Like, this is Amazon on their store. I'm pretty sure they've got more offers going on. I'll leave all the links in the description below so that you don't have to go typing it all in. But yeah, some great deals to be had. So I thought I'd throw in a few video tripods as well for those lot wanting to film interviews and podcasts. So I've used newer tripods for a few of my shoots and I'd say they're great. This one here is going for £185, reduced from about £240. And this is their Pro Video tripod. Now they do also have a cheaper version, which was £145. Now it's going for £116. So there's great deals to be had there on newer tripods. Like I say, I've used them for projects before. I'd say great build quality, ease of use, ease of setup, all of that. So DJI did a madness on drones, but for gimbals, they ain't really done much. They haven't done much. Again, if I'm mistaken and I've missed out on anything, please do let everybody know below, man. It helps us all out. What I have found is a small rig dual handle with the controls on offer right now. Now, I don't have the one with the controls, I got the one without the controls. And to be honest, I'm glad that I made that purchase, especially when you're walking around for a long period of time filming stuff. It does not do anything good for your back. You need the dual handle, otherwise your back is gonna be in agony. Don't get me wrong, your back's still gonna kill with this, but it makes it a lot easier. I noticed a big difference in how long I could hold the gimbal for when I upgraded to these dual handles. It's probably the most useful out of all of these is going to be SD cards. Now, we've got a SanDisk 128GB V60 SD card going for £57.99 now. You know, you can use this in all sorts of cameras. It helps with the buffering if you're shooting in burst photography. If you're shooting video in 10-bit, you need at least if you're shooting video in 10-bit, you need at least V60 cards. I mean, I think V60 cards are like the minimum for the A7S III. Obviously, it's that midpoint between V30 and V90. Luckily, it's less than half the price of what a V90 SD card costs. SanDisk, everybody's heard of SanDisk. Everyone's used SanDisk at some point. Great SD cards. So yeah, great offer here. We've also got the Alexa 128GB SD card here, V60. And this thing's going for £27.99. I think this thing writes quicker than the SanDisk as well, so yeah, great SD card here. And this thing was previously going for £40, so you're saving yourself £12 here. I've recently invested into SSD storage. These Samsung SSDs are insanely fast. Like, you can edit off of these, no problem at all. It's pretty much like editing straight off of the SSD on my MacBook. We've got the 4GB one going for £205. You're saving yourself 80 quid here. I personally used the 2TB ones, and I bought these for about £100 each, on offer previously a few months ago, so it's only a couple of quid more than I paid for my ones. Fortunately, the 2TB aren't on offer at the moment, although on Argos at the moment you can pick up the 1TB one for £65. Now the 2TB one's going for about £130 at the moment, so it doesn't really make sense to buy the 1TB one in my opinion. I know they were £90. For buying two 1TB hard drives, it's literally costing you the same price as buying one 2TB hard drive at retail value. And these are supposed to be offers. So yeah, forget about that. So moving on to one of my favorite purchases this year is microphones. Now, earlier on this year, I had to start investing in clip-on microphones. And after a recommendation from a mate, I got myself a set of the DJI mics. Now again, they were hard to get hold of at the time, but they were going for about £290. Even then, I thought it was great value for money. I picked these things up. These are sick. Look at the case. This is exactly what I'm recording the video with now. These have great range. They've got internal recording as well as recording onto the camera. So right now I'm recording into the camera and I'm also recording on here as a backup. It's got magnetic clips like what I've done right now. Obviously the situations when you're wearing clothing and it's a bit difficult, you know, to clip the mic on. So yeah, it's easily solved. Stick the magnet underneath, stick the microphone on top, bang, it's in position. If you want it a bit lower down, you can position it wherever you want with these magnetic clips. And yeah, like I say, charging case is literally like an airport charging case. And also when you open it up, the mics will illuminate and also the receiver will illuminate, telling you how much charge each microphone has, as well as telling you how much hours of storage each microphone has left on it. Obviously it comes complete with these wind guards, cable to plug it into the camera, and yeah, it comes with two transmitters, one receiver, all for £221. So yeah, great saving, great set of microphones. Like, these are future-proofed as well. Like, these are gonna last you a lifetime. Like, I could use these mics forever. Also, a really sick feature about these is that it's got quick attachments that you can stick onto the receiver and then plug it into your iPhone or Samsung Android phone. And you can record professional audio from your mobile phone without having to resync it in post-production. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you found this useful. I hope you're gonna make use of some of these deals. Also, let us know below if there's any other deals that you've managed to find or cheaper prices of any of the products that I've mentioned on here. And yeah, that'll just help everybody out getting some real savings this Black Friday. If you found this video of use, please click the subscribe button and also leave a comment below on what you'd like to see me talk about next.